The film Parasite tells the story of a Korean family, the Kim family, who are struggling to make ends meet. When a family friend tells the son about a job opportunity tutoring a wealthy family, the Kim family sets up an elaborate scam, through which they all end up getting jobs at the same family, and finally are able to bring in a substantial income. But then, when that wealthy family, the Park family, are away on a camping trip, the Kim family discover a dark secret hidden in their basement, and the plot intensifies from there. Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Film Friday, in which I review a new film every single week. This week we are looking at the 2019 film entitled Parasite, and directed by Bong Joon-ho. Let's get into it. On the surface, this film presents a reflection of and a commentary on class structures and wealth divides. The Park family, with their large, open floor plan house, designed by a famous architect, is presented in sharp contrast to the crumbling basement dwelling of the Kim family. The Park family is also presented as extravagantly wealthy, to the point at which they basically just throw money at their problems in order to get rid of them. Yet, although wealthy, they're not depicted as being particularly sharp-witted, given that they're completely unaware of the elaborate deceptions which the Kim family is carrying out against them. The Kim family, on the other hand, while clearly destitute, are depicted as being incredibly skilled and intelligent. But Parasite goes further than a mere reflection on the difference between rich and poor, or the inequality that exists between different classes. More fundamentally, the film is about exploring what humans will do in order to survive, or to protect themselves or their family. In some ways, this theme has become rather overused in film in the recent decade. Yet, nonetheless, it still remains an intriguing concept, perhaps due to the fact that there are a number of different directions in which such a plot could be taken. Yet, despite its frequent appearances, it still remains an intriguing concept, perhaps due to the number of different narrative directions it can be taken, while still remaining interesting. However, there is an element of concern regarding the manner in which such a theme is presented. It is clear throughout the film that the Kim family are the protagonists of this story, which is centered around them. In many ways also, they are presented in a very sympathetic light, no matter what kind of atrocities they may commit. So there is a sense in which the film is almost subconsciously attempting to justify what they do. While the family begins by committing relatively simple crimes of fraud and deception, by the end they are committing horrible acts of abuse and even murder. And these are all presented within a framework which seems to imply that the crimes which they commit are justifiable, or at the very least understandable, because they are poor and they're simply doing what they must in order to survive. Even at the end, after the father of the Kim family has murdered the father of the Park family, you are still pushed to sympathize with him, or at the very least respect him and root for his escape, because it's good for children to be reunited with their parents. From a more technical perspective, the cinematography in this film was in parts very masterfully carried out. As the film begins rapidly moving towards its conclusion, there is a scene in which the Kim family's home floods during a severe thunderstorm. The manner in which the sequence is edited juxtaposes the flooded basement with the prisoners in the underground bunker. The shots cut back and forth to illustrate the similar circumstances of both situations. In a particularly powerful moment, the son stands holding a heavy rock, while the light above him flickers on and off, signifying his wavering between the light and the dark, good and evil. There was also a certain type of shot composition which was used throughout this film. This framing would place a character in the background of the shot with another in the foreground, often because the character in the background was attempting to observe the one in the foreground while still remaining unnoticed. An argument could be made that this particular type of shot composition encapsulates the story of Parasite, in which the Kim family and the other couple in the basement attempt to hide in the background of the Park family's life, hiding in both a literal and a metaphorical sense. So, despite some troubling moral elements of the plot, the film Parasite is overall a very masterfully produced film. The cinematography and the narrative pacing serve to make it a captivating story, which is well worth watching. With that being said, thank you for watching. Be sure to comment your own thoughts on this film below. And don't forget to subscribe for more movie commentary and reviews.